The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this business.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Kristian Fenix radio show. It is Monday, August 2nd. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. I'm joined by my co-host, the savage one, Mr. Tony Spark. Tony, how you doing on this Monday morning?
Hey, doing good. It is a new week, ready to rock out new episodes, and had a pretty good weekend, minus the overnight and the turnaround. But, other than that, it's not bad.
Nice to see you back on Facebook, actually getting out in the evenings and doing stuff. And, you weren't able to do that before when you were working nights.
No, it's been nice to catch up with some old friends, even if it's just an evening here and there. But it's been good. I saw over the weekend Jungle Cruise, which was a lot of fun. I don't know if you got a chance to see that.
Not yet.
Oh, man, if you guys haven't, definitely go see it. I tried to put on the Tony Spark page the reviews. The Facebook page is a little hard. I'm going to have to get with you off air to kind of figure that out. It's not as easy to use as it used to be. So that's why I kind of just post on my personal page. Here nor there. Facebook. And then I saw Old, which was I'd watch it from home. So just stream it. It was weird. It wasn't awful. It was a really weird movie. So
another M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah.
That,
this is a strange one. It was definitely I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. So I loved it. I felt like I was at the beach for about an hour and 46 minutes. So that was pretty cool.
Well, it's funny you say that because that is a perfect tie-in to what we do at the start of every show. A question from my co-host.
Yeah.
Tony, we know that the beach is one of your favorite places in the world. What is the strangest thing you've ever seen at the beach?
Two things. Well, it's not super strange, but in Key West, Florida, saw my first naked lady on the beach, and no one even blinked an eye. Like, no one was looking except me. And then the ex-wife, Cassie's like, quit looking. I'm like, you can't help but stare. But then,
how do you not?
That was the first time I ever saw like a weird European dude with like a banana hammock. Like it was just a little banana thing covering his little Peter. It was just protecting it, and it was weird to me. So naked people and banana hammocks, and that was down in Key West. So.
Well, Tony, you continue to just sort of almost know exactly what's happening because in this story, a randy couple have been filmed having sex on a packed beach in Poland in front of a mass of stunned onlookers. Wow. The brazen display, which took place at the seaside town of Mielno last Friday, was only interrupted when one furious bather decided to take matters into his own hands. Footage shows the unfolding scene as the man visibly gyrates on top of a woman lying on the sand. They appeared undeterred despite repeated audible calls from shocked onlookers to stop their intimate session. Soon their actions prompted a group of bemused beachgoers bid to halt the shameless public display.
Shameless plug time.
As a woman throws water on the couple, two men then step up the efforts as they start to physically handle the man, who eventually decides to pull himself away from the woman. However, before he has the chance to get on his feet, an enraged bather comes over and smacks the man on his naked bottom multiple times with a flip-flop. Visibly shocked and intoxicated, the man swiftly staggers around the beach, barely able to walk. He then proceeds to walk past a crowd of gawking sunseekers without any underwear on. Local police confirmed that the man was taken to a detention center to sober up. They added that he received a ticket for his trouble, but failed to locate his partner in crime. The man who used his flip-flop as a weapon could reportedly also be in trouble with the police following the shocking incident.
Assault.
It is. Users on social media couldn't quite believe what they were seeing. And I'm going to post this up on our Facebook page. You can actually watch the whole interaction. With some,
Yeah, baby.
carefully placed pixelated boxes, but it is hilarious to see the guy
That's
walk
hardcore
up.
for the beach. Like, I get it. Like, if you want to go sneak off, like where no one can see you, or you think no one can see you, and want to go be adventurous, I am sure that happens often. But just blatantly to do it on the beach, I mean, there's kids and stuff. I mean, that's a lot of risk. You know, if you're gonna do it, I mean, be adventurous, but go somewhere where there's not a lot of people. I mean, you do run that risk of getting caught, but just to do it on a packed beach is nuts. That's why I was blown away with the naked lady in Key West. Like everyone, I don't know. Like no one was fazed by it. It was
well, people
except this boy at the time was. We lived in Colorado, so I was gonna say the Nevada boy, but the Colorado guy was just like, whoa. So,
well, people were definitely fazed by this, and I don't know how you can even do that on a beach with sand getting in places and. Yeah.
No, I'd be all right with doing that just as long as there's no one else there. You know, it's like maybe in the evening and it was private, maybe, but definitely not on a packed. It'd have to be like a beach towel, or maybe a real big beach towel or something.
Right.
Yeah. It's probably best just to go take it to a room.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fines too, especially Mr. Spanky. Can't believe he spanked him with a sandal. What a dick.
And maybe in Poland it's not as big of a deal, but here it certainly would be. Well, folks, it is Monday, and that's a fun way to start things out. We've got a wonderful show lined up for you guys today, so let's talk about today's show, shall we?
Briefly, I hate Mondays. Hate them. Therefore, I decree from this day forward, there will be no more Mondays.
Oh,
no more Mondays.
That'd be nice, Garfield.
Yeah, but since there are, we've got, as we do on Mondays, Silly Rabbit. This bit is for kids. We've got a segment called Well, They Had a Point. And finally, we round out the day with This Day in History. Folks, do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
Behold my precious. Ooh, yeah, let me tell you something right here. It's the Loot Crate subscription box, full of exclusive loot, fun surprises delivered to your door every month.
Just pick up your favorite geeky genre, Daddy.
From the original Loot Crate, the Loot Crate DX collectible boxes, dude! Cowabunga! To the Loot Gaming video game box. Woohoo! Yee-hoo!
What's with kids today, huh?
Wowzers! With crits starting as low as $11.99 per month, there's a box just about for all collectors.
To get your geek on, head over to phoenixmedia.us/Loot Crate and claim your exclusive offer. That's FENIX media.us/Loot Crate. Great Scott!
Snap into a Loot Crate, dig it?
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. Take one.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. We've got a little thing we talk about each episode. It is the Fenix Line, our 24-hour day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys, the listeners and watchers, an opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever. Maybe you were smacked in the ass for having sex on the beach. We want to hear about it. Give us a call at 855-FENIX-RADIO, 855-FENIX-RADIO, or 855-336-4973. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now, being that it is Monday, and as we like to do on Mondays, Tony takes us through the funny and silly things that kids and their parents do in a segment I like to call Silly Rabbit. This bit is for kids.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Usually it is like the darndest things kids do. Well, I think it was a couple weeks ago, maybe even a month ago, where we covered a time where parents use reverse psychology, and it totally worked on clueless kids. So this one will be actually silly kids. This bit's for parents. So maybe you guys, if you're new parents or current parents and you need some advice, you could take some tips from some of these friends on Twitter.
Definitely take notes, because it works. Reverse psychology is a wonderful thing.
That's awesome. That's coming from a father right there who has to use that. So this one right here was, my son was really impulsive when he was little, and he would try to run away from me when we'd be crossing streets instead of holding my hand. So I started to tell him that he needed to hold my hand so nobody would try to steal me. And it worked. He felt responsible for making sure nobody tried to kidnap me out of public. So that being the dad, that's or mom, I don't know. It doesn't say if it was a mom or dad. But as a parent, that's kind of brilliant, actually, right? Because usually you threaten the kids with strangers if you don't hold the hand. That's all what I remember. Like, we'd have to tell the nephews and
stranger danger.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah.
But that's a brilliant way to go, because then it gives the kid a sense of responsibility that they need to protect their parent.
Yeah, nope. Sounds like a good one. I mean, the comments on here, they don't like that. They don't want a kid having constantly afraid his parents in danger. It's just reverse psychology, people. Get over it.
Right.
On this one, my dad used to say when the ice cream truck was playing music, it meant he had to run out. He had run out of ice cream. Wait, that's not reverse psychology. That's just lying, Dad.
Right.
So that's, they're playing music. They're out of ice cream. I don't know if that's a really good solution. That's kind of I don't think the kid's going to believe you.
Well, not only that, but how old was that post? I mean, I can't tell you the last time I've heard an ice cream man come around. It's been at least a decade, right?
They don't come around my neighborhood, and it gets hot as hell here, especially lately. I haven't, couldn't tell you the last time I've ever heard the ice cream man come through.
I think the ice cream man is sort of a thing of the past now, just because, I mean, with DoorDash, you can have ice cream delivered to your door anytime you want. Not only that, but the ice cream that they had in those weren't the best. Yeah, they were novelty. You could eat the gumball ice off of
Dude, that was Mickey. But... Yeah, they were good. But you're right. They were just the popsicles and all that stuff, the rocket pops. And But
Big
you're right.
stick.
It is a thing. I couldn't tell you the last time. Push-ups were a big thing too. The Flintstone
right.
push-ups. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, in this one, this is I bet you can't. Both of them hate assertions they're not capable of doing something. Can you put your toys away will almost certainly garner a hard no. But I bet you can't put all those toys back in the box. No way you'll be able to. We'll have them whizzing around, tidying like demons, followed by a very indigent, see, I told you I could. Cue fake surprise from me. They're only 4 and 7, so I know this has got limited time, but so far it works like a charm every time. So basically, it just shows a picture of just toys all over the bedroom, which is pretty typical for a kid. And that is pretty awesome. It is. I bet you can't put those all away. Kids always like a little challenge because they like to be right.
They do. They like competition. You know, you could always be like, you know, if you've got 2 kids, as I do, say, oh, I bet, you know, I want to see who would be the winner in putting those away. And then they would make it a competition between the 2 of them. And reverse psychology.
It's pretty good. Yeah. So if you have young ones, that might be a good advice if you're having trouble with them cleaning their rooms. So.
Yep.
As a former kid, the best reversal my mom ever did was to get me to eat liver, which I hated.
Ugh.
So she came up with a dish called Revel with onions and served it, and I wolfed it down, glad to not eat liver. It took me years to realize what was going on, not because I was dumb, but I never expected to be fooled on this, and not such a cheap, underhanded way. Spell it backwards, all you did was rename it, and it worked? Mom, damn it. Rest in peace, Mom. I still make my own Revel now and then just to reminisce. I don't know if I agree with that one completely because kids aren't stupid. They see what it is. Right. But you can mix it in, and generally they're not going to I wouldn't imagine they're going to know.
Well, not only that, but there's some preconceived notions about certain things like liver or, you know, Brussels sprouts or things along those lines that unless you've ever had them before, you've just heard that they're gross. So this is kind of a smart way to go, you know, just call it something else. And then you could even say, you know, I won't make you eat liver, but I've got this great thing called Rivel, which is so much better.
Yeah. What's Rivel? I don't know. Try it and let me know if you like it. That's not bad. It's kind of like now as an adult because I grew up hating vegetables. I love fruit, of course, like making that smoothie that you saw me drinking in the last segment. That has has like spinach and some other veggie stuff in it. You can't taste it, so
because it's mixed in with better tasting stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But I am putting it in, so that's a good thing. See, Mom, eat my veggies. Yes, please. My dad used to play a game to see who could match and fold the most laundry. He never won once. It was always the kid, so. Well, yeah. It was a ploy to get you to fold your laundry.
Right.
Oh, who's going to win? Oh, you really beat me. Oh, man, I've only folded 1 shirt to your 10? Doing a good job.
That reminds me of the old, in the cartoons where, somebody was handing something out as like 1 for you, 1 for me. 2 for you, 1, 2 for me, 3 for you, 1, 2, 3 for me.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's funny because I feel bad. That made me think of like the kids at my work where they have to fold clothes all day.
Oh,
like such a boring job. But
that would be awful.
Yeah, it'd just be like, oh, you want to fold? You beat me 10 to my 1. Good job.
I guess there's worse things you could be paid to do.
Yeah, well. Clean up dog poop or something like that.
Right.
And this one, there is a dog on this picture, but I don't know if it has anything to do with the dog. But it seemed like a minute my son realized he was going through puberty. He developed a need to show everyone how strong he was, usually by carrying things. Now, my son was a rather small, weary, hyperkinetic kid, not at all a football player or a weightlifter type. Yet I noticed starting when he was around 13, if something heavy or heavyish needed moving, he was always right there and with a need to show he could do it. I took full advantage. I don't think I lifted anything heavier than my purse until he moved out. All I had to do was mention that I was going to put X in Y place, put the suitcases in the car for vacation, carry the gigantic load of laundries upstairs, etc., and pretend like it was too heavy for me, and he would appear as if summoned from the universe to do it for me. The reverse psychology aspect was my saying, "Oh my, that looks heavy," and him proving to me that, no, it's not. That's not bad at all, man. If you don't want to do the heavy lifting, that's good. Actually, come to think about it, my mom used to do that stuff with me all the time. Oh, really? Could you get the groceries? They're a little heavy. Yeah, and I always brought in the groceries all the time.
I have the boys help me out with that. Now, last time we made a Costco run, we got the 2 organic lemonade things and gave those to Reese to bring in. And, they're sort of connected by that little plastic handle. And, he barely made it to the counter without like one dangling. So
at least the little plastic, they didn't crap out on you. I couldn't tell you how many times I've seen it just bonk. Pop out. Yeah. Yeah, I always trust that, but that's pretty damn cool. Oh, okay, this one's got a creepy robot on it. No, you cannot take this after-school science extracurricular activity. They have robots, lasers, explosions, and other dangerous stuff like that. Okay, so that's what got the kid to sign up. Like, that didn't sound like reverse psychology. It just sounds like something any kid would want to do. Robots, lasers, explosions? Hell yes.
Well, not only that.
What kid didn't like danger and stuff,
right. Well, in an after-school activity like that, the kid, they're not in control of whether or not they sign up. So, if the kid says to the parent, I want to do that, well, the parent has to be the one to say, okay, and sign off on it.
Yeah.
So
that one was
say, no, you can't. Okay.
You can't. Okay, I guess you did. That one was a dumb one.
Yeah.
So this one, if you ever needed a kid to read a book that they just couldn't, this might be up your alley. So this person was a victim. There was a forbidden book that they were not allowed to read on the shelf. Their parents said they can only read it if they behave themselves. It was summer holidays, and they were playing games all day. After 6 hours of summer homework, one day the person was home alone and had the opportunity to grab it. They read half of it in one go. It was 5,000 years of Chinese history. Safe to say, I was bamboozled. You can't read that book. Don't you read that. Don't you do it. So yeah, that works. I guess if you need to get them to read a book, especially one that you want them to read, then that just might be up your alley. So
yeah, and convincing kids to read, it can either be super easy or super hard. My oldest one, he loves to read. Great, that's easy enough. My youngest one, I have him read to me every day. And he'll start a sentence and then get sidetracked and want to talk to me about something related to that. And it's tough to keep him on track, but we get through it.
Absolutely. And to close out the segment, real brief, easy, and this is pretty much something you have mentioned that you do with your kids. It's to get them to eat dinner. Do you want to eat dinner now or you want it in 10 minutes? The illusion of choice.
Exactly.
Now in 10 minutes. That's all you got. So
yeah, in 10 minutes, it makes things so much easier because either way they're eating and they're not throwing a hissy fit that, oh, man.
Yeah, I'll take 10 minutes. Okay. 10 minutes
Perfect.
It is.
Well, folks, that does it for this segment of Silly Rabbit. This bit is for kids. When we come back, we're headed into, well, they had a point. To find out more, stick with us, and we'll see you guys in just a few.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy.
But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Dear John, I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is serious, and I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to when you checked on me? I don't want to leave, but remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart and don't let it quit on you. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range today. For help keeping yours at a healthy range, text PRESSURE to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. Take one.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to sell all your belongings and live in a commune.
These dungarees belong to all of us now, Tom.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman!
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Indeed. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show, and we are all over social media with many of you watching us as we speak on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. Now, if you want to enjoy us from the comfort of your own home or on the go, you can just download the ngbn.tv mobile application or smart TV app. Go to the Fenix Media channel and you can get this great show and other great Fenix Media shows as well. Now, if you want to get a hold of me on social, I'm available at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. That's Kristian with a K, Fenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R, or on Instagram and Twitter at Fenix Media Radio. Tony's available at facebook.com/Tony Spark. That's SPARK 81. Or on Instagram at Tony.Sanfilippo81.
Oh, yeah!
In this next segment that I've titled, Well, They Had a Point, we're going to take a look at movie villains. And I don't know about you, Tony, but I've always been a little more intrigued by the villains of the stories as opposed to the heroes. Because the heroes' motivations typically are very altruistic, unless you've got an anti-hero. But the villains are always so interesting in what their motivations are, and some of them just had a point. You can almost relate to exactly what the villain is doing. So, with that being said, we're going to run down a list of movie villains who just had a point, and I think this might be a fitting transition soundbite for us.
It's all part of the plan.
So the first one absolutely makes sense from user Willie Wanger.
Willie Wanger?
Yeah. Said, baby's dad in Dirty Dancing. He just wanted to keep a sketchy dance instructor from diddling his underage daughter.
It's all part of the plan.
It's true.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. He's just a protective dad. That's it.
Yeah, you watch that early on and, you think, why is he so grumpy? But as a father, you go back and you look and you're like, oh, wow, that is actually kind of gross.
Yeah, nobody puts baby in a corner.
Well, let's keep moving on here with, they had a point. This next one from user Lom Lom Lom.
Okay, Lom 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 is a...
Boom shakalaka!
Said, Principal Mullins in School of Rock. She definitely had a right to be concerned. No Vacancy had a right to kick him out of the band, and Ned and his girlfriend had a right to be pissed at the roommate for not paying rent.
It's all part of the plan.
Yeah. If you're not gonna pay and contribute, well, this is what happens. You get the boot.
Well, not only that, he was a deadbeat. He basically swindled his way into being a substitute teacher at this school just to try and get some money. Everything he did was pretty despicable, aside from the fact that they made him out to be the hero.
Yeah.
Aside from that, fun movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie. And Jack Black's always fun.
Oh, always.
He's over the top goofy, yeah.
Well, moving on with, they had a point. This from Quay22.
Yo, Quay22!
And I can't speak really to the original because it's been so long since I've seen it, but the remake for me still makes sense. They said Khan in Star Trek. Kirk should have checked on the Khan colonists' progress. SETI Alpha 6 exploded. WTF, Kirk. And even with the Benedict Cumberbatch remake and the fact that, his fellow communist colonists were in those missiles, yeah, he had a point to be pissed at the Federation and, the general who was trying to destroy him for, uncovering his plan of war. And so...
war.
Exactly. And again, I don't remember the original that well, but Khan was certainly a sympathetic a villain in that.
Sympathetic. I didn't have anything good for that one. Khan!
That's all right. You might have a good one for this next one. They had a point. From Oosh06 said, now he wasn't really a villain, but he was the antagonist. Goofy in a Goofy movie had understandably good reasons to be scared for his son from his perspective.
It's all
you Max!
plan.
He was just... I kind of felt like Max was kind of the villain at times because he's such a jerk to his dad.
He was.
Like, all he did was, you Maxie! And he just wanted to put him on that course because, Max was straying because he was hanging out with the bad kids and he wanted to make sure, he had a good role model and a good life. I don't know. I didn't think Goofy was the bad guy in that movie. It's always usually Pete, the big bulldog, right?
Right.
Whatever kind of dog that is.
And I know you remember it pretty well, so I figured you'd have a lot to say on that.
Goofy movie rocks. Well, my sister would watch that about 10,475 times, so I should know it.
Well, moving on they had a point. This from user Kate and Jack. Simple and easy. The shark in Jaws. The ocean is his home.
It's all part of the plan.
If you don't want to be eaten by the shark, don't go in the ocean.
Now, in hindsight, surprised they never showed any other sharks. As the sequels happened, they should have started adding more great whites. It's always just one, right? It's just the one.
And it was like Deep Blue Sea. They had the main shark and they had other sharks, but, they had that super intelligent, oversized shark that, made it made its point for supremacy.
If you want to see something terrifying, watch YouTube videos. Now that they have drones, they have this guy, he's called the Malibu Artist.
Okay.
And I don't know how I stumbled on him. I think I watched something shark related and he shows up in my feed now. But real cool stuff. He'll do down in LA and San Diego area. Not even far off the beach. I'm not kidding you. He doesn't go very far off, man. And there's great whites that just linger right there. And you can see him perfectly from the drone. And now I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to go out that far anymore. I think I'm good. And some pretty good. He goes down close with the drone and he gets near him and stuff. And they're just out there. But it's crazy to see the surfers. Dude, they're so unaware. They're just right there. It's
right.
Check it out on YouTube, man. We want to talk about if you got a fear of sharks and shit.
That's terrifying.
Dude, it is terrifying. Hey, but you're in their world, though. You are in their world.
I'll have to check it out. I won't show the boys because they're doing
Don't show the boys because, man, it is literally not that far from shore, bro.
Yeah.
It's rather close.
Ooh, good to know. Well, let's keep rolling on talking. They had a point talking about villains in movies that had a point. Could be sympathetic in their motives. This from Paul VS88 said, "The Wicked Witch in Wizard of Oz. Yeah, she was a witch, but come on. There were her dead sister's shoes. She should have them, not some stranger who just showed up and wants them. Oh, by the way, this stranger that showed up was the one who killed her sister. Sad, really."
It's all part of the plan.
Yeah, when you put it that way, yeah, kind of bad.
Makes sense. Makes sense why
Isn't it
she'd
funny
be angry
sometimes
at
we
her.
watch some movies, we're like, they're such good people.
No.
I don't know, Dorothy, were you?
She stole a dead witch's shoes and wouldn't give them back.
Yeah. They don't belong to you.
Oh, moving on. Well, they had a point. This from Corgis Die. I don't agree with that username because I love
Corgis!
But definitely coming from the best of the trilogy, Flint Marko, a.k.a. Sandman from Spider-Man 3. I was joking about that. He's a desperate father with a daughter on her deathbed, just trying to amass the funding necessary to bring her back to health.
It's all part of the plan.
Yeah, probably didn't go about it the best way, but yeah, you feel sorry for the guy who's trying to escape from prison to see his daughter one last time before she dies, and all they want to do is just capture him and put him away.
Yeah, that's it.
That is it. All right, let's keep moving on. Well, they had a point. This from user No One Shall Pass Hassan said General Hummel, played by Ed Harris in The Rock, all he wanted was for soldiers' sacrifices to be recognized by their government. He just chose the worst possible way to pursue that goal.
It's all part of the plan.
He really did. He took it to a whole new level. He had a good reason for why he was doing his stuff, but man, did he take it to an extreme level, and that's what made him a nasty guy.
Well, not only that, but it revealed at the end that he really had no intention of utilizing the rockets. It was those two subordinates who decided to shoot off those VX rocket, gas rockets, and he was just trying to bluff, and unfortunately they called his bluff and ended up turning on him.
Yeah.
Oh, and then finally, here on Well, they had a point. This one from Bizarre Jojo said,
Jojo!
The machines in the Matrix. The humans in that story were stupid, cruel, and destroyed the Earth.
It's all part of the plan.
It is. That is
It is kind of true.
Isn't that funny? We'll have to do more of those because they are right, man. Sympathetic villains. Yeah, they have their reason. It's kind of like Thanos. Thanos was just trying to put balance in order. That's all. He wasn't trying to dominate and take over the world. He just was looking to set the balance, and then he wanted to go retire and be a farmer.
Exactly. And all based on his personal experience of seeing his planet just sort of fall into chaos based on overpopulation, lack of resources. And so good intentions, just a bad way of doing it. So
absolutely.
Well, folks, hopefully you've got good intentions coming back with us, because when we do come back, we're headed into the final segment of the show. You know what that means. It's time for This Day in History. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a few.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hey everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment. You see, every moment can be kind of special. But they can be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments, it doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school, so I'm trying to break that barrier.
My daughter Brooklyn was also a motivation for me to go back to school.
Every day after work, went straight to school, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks, to the fourth and final segment of this episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. Now, if you missed a portion of the show or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor, Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, Doozer, Dozer, Geezer, Gozer.
Are you a god? How about no?
Dr. Evil doomed us all.
He doomed us today.
Well, while you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review. Let us know what you think and tell your friends. Because why, Tony?
Sharing is caring. Like, subscribe, follow, tweet, and all that good stuff.
All that good stuff. Well, folks, as we do at the end of each and every episode, we like to drop a little knowledge on you, hopefully make you laugh at the same time. It is time for This Day in History.
Traversing the globe for the stories that turn the world on its head. It's This Day in History with your correspondent on the beat,
Kristian Fenix.
Thanks, Siri. All right, kicking things off this day in 1552, the Treaty of Passau, where Emperor Charles V accepts the Lutheran religion. And of course, if you remember back in that period of time, it was the Catholics versus the Lutherans, and based on who was ruling is what, and the Protestants is, who was in charge and what was the better of the Christian religions, which again doesn't make any sense for me, but that's just the way it was. And they killed people over it too.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Your opinions, man.
Moving on, this day in 1610, English explorer Henry Hudson enters the bay, later named after him, the Hudson Bay. And of course, I think the bay was probably named after him by how disheveled and disgusting he looks, because it is a disheveled and disgusting river and bay.
Yeah, I heard it's pretty trashy. A lot of stuff in there, huh?
It's so
gross. A lot of
gross.
junk in the bay, yeah.
So gross.
I wouldn't go swimming in there.
Nope.
Do people swim in it?
People do. People go out boating, kayaking, swimming, and you won't find me in there.
Nope. I've crossed the Hudson, but that's about it.
There you go. You have something in common with Henry. This day in 1738, France offers Holy Roman Emperor Charles VI mediation in his war against Turkey. Charles VI, what's going on with those pom-poms in his hat?
I don't know. That's a badass hat. I got my Holy Roman Empire hat, and we're going to battle some turkey. Nah, dude, even Randy Savage couldn't pull off that hat.
No.
Oh, yeah, I got my pumping circumstance.
Moving on, this day in 1776, and something I didn't realize happened much later than when you thought it would, but the formal signing of the U.S. Declaration of Independence by 56 people, the date most accepted by modern historians. I figured on July 4th, 1776 is when everybody sat down and signed their names. Apparently, most of them signed it almost a full month later.
That's crazy. Well, it's sure as hell not John Hancock. He was the first one because that thing is big, and I say it every time because I look at this copy, and that's the first one I see.
Yeah. And we've always joked in the past that it's sort of like the birthday card that goes around the office. The first person to get the birthday card fills out the most space, and then as more people fill it out, the last person has about that much space to fill in their name.
Yep. Not a lot of space left.
Oh, Tony, if the guitar is near you, you may want to go ahead and grab it because on this day in 1802, Napoleon Bonaparte declared consul for life after winning the national referendum. Of course, we all know how he celebrated. Headed on down to Farrell's for that Piggly Wiggly ice cream trough.
Excellent!
Wild Stallions! I almost bought a Wild Stallion shirt yesterday at Hot Topic.
Oh, that would have been cool.
And the only problem is it was like it was a large and it was a really big shirt.
I thought you were going to say it was like $50 because Hot Topic's not the cheapest place to go.
No, it was like on clearance for like $15. That was their clearance price, but.
Well, let's keep rolling on. This day in 1865, Lewis Carroll publishes Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, which if you thought the Disney version was trippy, read the book. I mean, this guy was clearly on something. Whether it was
man, I'm going to send you on an adventure in Wonderland, man. There's going to be a Cheshire cat, it smiles, and a caterpillar, man. He hits the hookah.
And the funny thing is, if you look at this picture of him, he looks stoned out of his mind.
Yeah, he does. He looks like he's in Wonderland.
Yeah. I'd love to see a dark version of Alice in Wonderland. You know, they had that video game series for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And that would be fun to watch.
Trippy, for sure.
Absolutely. Let's move on. This day in 1907, legendary pitcher Walter Johnson, at 19 years old, begins his 21-year Baseball Hall of Fame playing career with Washington in a 3-2 loss versus Detroit. Yeah, you won't see 19-year-old baseball players much at this point anymore.
Bryce Harper was probably one of the youngest ones that went straight into the majors that I can remember.
And how old was he when that happened?
I want to say he was like 20, 21.
Yeah.
He was really young. Yeah.
And that's the thing, most sports are requiring people to go at least to a portion of college before they have eligibility to go to the pros. So, yeah, won't see teenagers in professional sports much anymore. Let's move on. This day in 1932, Carl David Anderson discovers and photographs a positron, the first known antiparticle, which back in 1932, I'm sure that was a huge feat in the scientific community. I couldn't even tell you what a positron looks like. Aside from
positron,
like a badass Transformers character.
That's what I was thinking. It sounds like a badass Transformers character. We're on the same wavelength there.
Moving on, we don't talk about World War II much just because it's depressing, but this sort of goes back to what we were talking about in the last segment. This day in 1945, after 3.5 days suffering exhaustion, lack of water, and shark attacks in the Philippine Sea, the surviving crew of the USS Indianapolis are spotted by Wilbur Chuck Gwynn, a private Ventura pilot, on routine sector search. 316 survived. I don't even know how many went into the water, but that would be terrifying.
Oh, yeah, that would be a living nightmare. Ugh.
Oh, I couldn't do it. Could not do it.
No, that's just scary. Well, even looking in that picture with just like the guy with the blood and then that shark's right there, heck no. Whew.
Terrified.
Nope.
Oh, let's keep moving on. This day in 1969, nice. Bob Dylan makes a surprise appearance at Hibbing High School, Minnesota 10th reunion. And
there you go. You do it the best.
I remember these so well.
Look at my hat. It's like the guy from Turkey.
I'm missing the pom-poms.
Whoa. He's terrible.
Oh, 1973, this day, American Graffiti, directed by George Lucas and starring Richard Dreyfuss and Ron Howard, premieres at the Locarno International Film Festival in Switzerland. Of course, that was well before George Lucas was known for a little thing called Wars?
Wars of the Star?
Yeah, something like
the
that.
The Galaxy movie, Luke and Leia movie. Yeah. And that was before Hoopa was Hoopa.
Oh, and before Ron Howard was a director himself.
This is true.
Very, very true. All right, let's keep moving on. I don't care about tennis that much, so let's do this day in 1989. NASA confirmed the Voyager 2's discovery of 3 more moons of Neptune, designated temporarily as 1989 N2, 1989 N3, and 1982 N24 for some reason. Doesn't make sense why it falls into that line, and those are just boring names for moons.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be the one who discovered a celestial body so I could name it whatever I wanted. Not sure what I would name it, but...
well, it wouldn't be like N24, N2, or N3.
No.
That's pretty lame. That's almost like when Nintendo named their system the Wii U or the Wii.
Yeah. Oh, it was a
Couldn't it come out with a cooler name? Yeah. Please.
Well, speaking of cool, but not for what he did, this day in 1992, funk singer Rick James is arrested on sexual torture charges. Yikes.
Ugh. I didn't know that about him. Well, that gives a whole other meaning to super freak. It's super freaking. Rick James, bitch. With a 5-finger set to the face.
This day in 1996, the star-studded United States men's basketball team, also known as the Dream Team 3, beat Yugoslavia 95-69 to win the gold medal at the Atlanta Olympics. Not what we're seeing these days. They were eliminated, I think, in the first round?
First round, yeah. The 20. It's so weird, too, because they didn't go back and change, like, the 2020 logos. Everything says 2020.
I know.
Does it count as the 2020 Olympics?
It does.
Okay, so even though it's in 2021, it's really the 2020 Olympics. Okay, well,
Yep.
The 2020 team is, not very
so
good. No, not so bueno.
And then finally, here on this day in history, this day in 1999, The Sixth Sense, starring Bruce Willis, Toni Collette, and Haley Joel Osment, premieres, of course, directed by M. Night Shyamalan. Certainly the best of his offerings.
Yep, still better, the best of them all.
Yep. Now,
Better
before
than
we head out
old.
for the today, I always do that.
Today?
Let's run down some of today's holidays, where we like to talk about the things that we celebrate. For instance, today is Dinosaurs Day. So if you like dinosaurs, congratulations, it's your day. It is National CAD Day, in other words, 3D design. It is National Coloring Book Day. So if you like coloring, just stay inside the lines. And finally, it is National Ice Cream Sandwich Day, which I think I'm going to go get myself.
Ooh,
Folks, that does it for today's show. We will see you tomorrow on a Tuesday with Animal Tales. In the meantime, have a wonderful Monday.
Peace.